All right then. Heavenly Father, make your will that you help us make decisions for the people of Corona County in their best interest. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's the flag, Dave. I never need you forget that flag. Let's do a roll call while I figure out how to mute this thing.
Yacht,
Here.
Johnston,
Here.
Brumman. Here. Brady.
Here. We muted now. Yeah, business.
So I took a lot of notes earlier.
Stephanie, where's the mute button in there?
Oh, it's right on, it's unmuted.
Okay, thank you. We'll leave it right there, so I don't forget. I will. Moving on, we need to add what now?
I'm going to, after we have to basically appreciation, we need to have a motion that demonstrates we received it.
So you're just gonna bring that up.
Not a big,
Very good.
but it needs to be in the minutes.
I will. Okay. I'll accept the motion to approve minutes from October 2nd. Support. Who was supported? Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. For the record, Terry is excused absent today. I forgot to mention that. Next up, public comment, 3 minutes per person. Identify yourself. Okay, busy public today. Moving on, let's talk about the ACCOA budget presentations, if you would please.
Wasn't expecting.
Don't worry.
That was quick.
Don't worry, it's so easy.
It was easy,
Anticipation.
a little easier this year, cause I kind of know where my numbers and my things are coming from compared to last year. You're welcome. So I kind of use the same format as Carolyn helped me with last year. And then I just kind of wanted to touch base on some of the bigger numbers that we're looking at, is like our administration, which includes salary, admin salary, fringe benefits, communications, insurance, legal fees. Our in-home services, that's what, a majority of our clients that we service either get in-home services or the home delivered meals. Those are important to us. It gets eyes on the seniors in the community. We did have one direct care worker save a gentleman's life that had a stroke. And the home delivered meals also, it gets eyes on the clients. We've had several things happen, but one of them that sticks out is one of our home delivered drivers found a man in a bathtub that had been laying there all weekend long. He fell going to the bathroom, so they're very important programs for the community. We have roughly 160 clients that we serve, and we've been serving roughly 3,000 a month in meals, with about 500 of those being congregate meals. So, does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So I go down here to the home delivered meals. I think you and I had that conversation.
Yeah.
I had a couple people that were upset about not being able to get home delivered meals, and the reason was that the money is federal money. That they have strings attached. The federal money does?
No, most of the money from the home delivered meals comes from NEMSCA is where we get most
State
of our funding. It could be state or it could be federal.
So then your number here says total program is 287, and you're using 230 of millage. to do
Right,
it. So 80% of the money is from our county millage to do home delivered meals.
correct,
So 20% is,
what we get. I mean, we roughly get about 200,000 for all of our programs together from NEMSCA,
Okay.
so.
So it leads me to say, why can't we? And I know I asked Francis this at an NEMSCA thing. We got people who like home delivered meals, but they don't meet the criteria. Even though 80% of tax money from the county is paying for home delivered meals. And only 20% is the federal, we're following the federal guideline. And so I just, it came up a couple times, I had a couple people call and complain.
Mhm, yep,
And
I remember.
sometimes there's, grandma doesn't wanna get out on icy roads in January, but she doesn't have a doctor's note to say she has to stay home.
Right,
So but she can't get home delivered meals. If you don't have a doctor's note, that's the federal guideline, so they get kicked.
yeah, I mean,
How many people did you remove at the first of the year from home delivered meals from the COVID years?
from the COVID, I don't know.
There was
Exactly, but there was a lot.
There was a lot of people at the beginning of the year that
There
were getting
was.
home delivered meals. That got removed.
And everybody was getting them during COVID because of COVID. Then, I mean, I've only been doing this a year, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure prior of, you know.
Yeah, I'm
what
not getting
happened.
on your case.
No, I know you're not. I mean, I know we talked
Yeah.
and, I think there was, since I've been in there, yeah, I mean, the turnover rate at the center is not a really a good thing
Yeah.
sometimes. So there's different nurses, the RNs that have had different, perspectives, but now I've been able to talk to NEMSCA more on different things, so I've been able to read the AAA standards over and over and over again too myself. So there's a better understanding. There is criteria, but I'm not gonna stop somebody getting a meal because they wanna come into the senior center once or twice a month to play bingo or to play euchre, where I think that's what was happening previously. Oh, they're in the center, we're dropping them because they can get out. And that I don't think, just kind of like you said, I mean, there's people that can get out, they can come in the summer months to have congregate meals, but they have a walker. It might take them 10 minutes to get across the parking lot, but they wanna get in there, where in the winter time, that's a little difficult for a person to get into their car by themselves, then try to get into the center.
Well, I would ask then, since if we are paying the majority, 80% of those in-home meals, that could you get us something that shows that? Cause if the feds can have their own criteria, then
Right,
we can have our own criteria. And I say, I mean, I don't think somebody should be able to decide, oh, Monday I'm gonna get at home for Thursday, Friday. I mean, a month in advance.
right,
Or if somebody doesn't wanna get out in the snowy days, then, hey, I'm gonna stay home this month.
right,
And that's okay. I don't need a doctor's appointment. I be incapacitated.
right, correct.
So.
Yeah,
we can
I'm
look into that.
definitely willing to work with you and
I thought that feds were much more funding than we are. I mean, if we're at that much, then we
Yeah.
need to have more say in who gets
Right.
one.
Right, no, you
Unless
guys,
it interferes with the federal grant, which
Right.
would also pose a
Right.
problem for us setting our own standards, and then they would not get the balance of that, and it would not suffice to
right.
fund the rest of the community.
Yeah,
I
don't do
mean, I
that.
will have to, read everything, but there's things I've called on and, there's, like I said, consideration of certain things. I mean, if someone's coming into the center 3 days a week to have, home delivered, and then they want home delivered meals 1 day a week, they're not gonna be like, well, yeah, you can do that,
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I feel like if they're coming in there once a month and they're at least getting out of their house and socializing, they could have went to a doctor's appointment, but
Sure.
I'm out, I wanna come in and get a meal, but the rest of the time they can't. I mean, there's a lady that really can't get out of her house, and once in a blue moon, there's another person that comes in for congregate dinners that will bring her in. I'm not gonna cut her home delivered meals up because somebody took her to a doctor's appointment and then brought her in for
Right, no, that's,
dinner,
yeah, I don't
so,
think,
right.
well, if you, I really.
Yeah,
like to hear-
let's.
I mean, I just surprised me. That's why I'm having this conversation, because I thought there was a much higher percentage of this federal funding. And I talked to Francis, I also talked to the other NEMSCA lady. She goes, yeah, we have requirements and they have to have a doctor's slip to say they can't get out of the house. And
Yeah, their criteria is kind of like, they can get out and go to a doctor, they can go to church, they can go to the barber.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they have to be homebound.
well, it caused some heartburn for some older folks.
Yeah,
When I heard
right.
from them, they were very upset.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, thank you.
I think to me that the record shows that we received the, distribution of the millage or the ACCOA millage.
Support. Move to supported. Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Recycle Oklahoma County Operation Cleanup Contract. We tabled this because you weren't here, Carolyn. To approve the contract, in case you wanted to weigh in on it.
I heard that and I thought, I don't think I have anything.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But is that motion on the table?
Yeah, we didn't table a motion, we just waited till this week, so,
Just wait it.
yeah.
Then I would move that we approve the operation cleanup contract and authorize the chair to sign.
I will second. And any further comment? Okay, then, we'll do a roll call.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Next up is claims.
I'd like to make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between October 2nd, 24 and October 15th of 24. For check numbers 155-632 to 155-744 and e-checks 2468 to 2476 for a grand total of $490,915.76.
Support.
We're supported. Any questions, comments, concerns? Roll call, please.
Brady,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Snow plow bids.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dave Hanson for Building and Grounds. We did place an ad in the paper for 3 weeks. Compared to some people, we did better than others looking for contracts. We got 2 contractors that put in bids. I know some places in Oscoda are still searching for people to be plowing. We had 1 bid, put in by Asavo Services, which is the company that took over for John's Home Maintenance last year. And then we also had a local contractor, Backwoods Home Maintenance. He's based out of Harrisville here. Also put in a bid on the contract. Basically, both, bids came in at exactly the same price. They were willing to basically carry over the same charges from last year. So what we'd like to do is, the setup is basically up to 16 plows for the county building, sheriff's department and MSU building. We signed a contract for $6,500 for that, based over 4 payments in the winter time. And then usually at the end of the year, if we get under or over that, there's usually, you get a credit for it or overcharge. The extra plow over 13 plows, which has happened a few times since I've been here, is $398 per plow. Most of the time with the way the winters are going, it's been going in our favor the last couple of winters. Very rarely do we go over 16 plows per year, which works very well for this property that we have here, plus down the street. This came in,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you say 13 plows or 16?
16,
I thought you said 13.
No,
for the
16.
Over 13 plows.
No, 16.
Okay.
sorry, my bad,
Thank you.
16 plows. There is, everybody has the same charge for, if there's more than 6 inches of snow, like a blizzard type conditions like we had last year, there's an extra $100 charge for each one of those plows, because it requires an extra truck and manpower to move that snow. We're doing all the porches, sidewalks, the sheriff's department, county building, MSU is still at 145, which I thought was pretty fair for that. And then the bulk salting for parking lots is still the same at 160, so they're both about the same. Along with that, we also, we included Harbortown Marketplace, which does not come out of our building and grounds budget, that's got its standalone thing. but to save advertising costs, for Carolyn down there, Hubbardtown, same thing, we matched the same exact prices as last year for carryover. So basically for 1 to 4 inches of snow, it's $65 every time they plow down there, $20 for more than 6 inches of snow. For doing the sidewalks, porches and snow removal on the ramp in DHS is $36. And then we also have a callback, is what we have to put on the bid process down there. Because we could get a big snow today on Monday, but it's cold for 2 days. Wednesday afternoon, the sun will pop out and all the snow on that barrel roof falls off and completely buries the west side of the building. So there's a $40 callback charge if we call them up. They don't have to plow anything, they just have to come back and shovel out the entrances on, on the east side of the building, where the parking lot is at. And their salting and plowing part, prices are exactly the same. But they do per plow down there at Hubbardtown, and we do a contract for up to 16 plows a year there. After looking at, I would like to recommend that we do the Backwoods Home Maintenance, he's a local contractor. That was some of the issues we had last year, is a Solid Services is based out of Escoda. And sometimes we're missed a few times because it wasn't snowing in Escoda, we had snow here. That was always the benefit of having Johnson Maintenance do it, he was a local guy, and he could come here as needed. And that's what we're looking for, somebody to come out with that, so. I would recommend that we do Backwoods Home Maintenance for both projects.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move to receive the 2 bids for snow plowing.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I would,
Just to receive them, not to vote, not to pay.
then I would move, if I may.
Yeah.
Going forward, I move to accept the recommendation of the committee to have,
Backwoods Home Maintenance.
just a backwards piece, but backwards, that we authorize the signing of the contracts for Backwoods
Home Maintenance,
Home Maintenance. Thank you.
look at it.
For the 24-25 winter season.
Well, support.
Supported. Any further comments, concerns?
Yeah, are they new or
What's that?
backwards, are they new?
Yeah, he's been doing plowing for a while, he's been doing like the post office downtown, he did the laundromat, the IGA, he's done a whole bunch of different plowing around town. He's been getting more into it, he used to plow with John's until he went out on his own. He said he plowed here before doing our lower parking lot in the building department, but he's never actually plowed. John usually did this, but he took care of the other 2 parking lots, so he's very familiar with our property already.
So he's done other larger
Yes.
commercial things, you have to put him to do it.
Correct, he's already been doing some of the bigger properties in town.
I think the good thing is too, he came down and walked the property with. Dick
Yes, I did meet with him and he
And
walked
looked
me and
at
asked a lot of questions.
And tried to grasp all the innuendos of,
Mhm.
like you said, the snow coming down. Yeah.
I have to make sure he's got a good truck. to
Yes,
do it.
yeah.
So, because it could be, it could go bad if you want.
All right, thank you very much.
Never a second, did we?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we did.
Sorry, you guys didn't vote
Okay, so
tonight.
now we got vote. This will be a roll call.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes,
Yax,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
motion carries. I think this state shovel too.
yes,
We can't find a place that'll shovel anymore.
yeah,
That's hard.
it's very difficult to do.
What's the name of the place?
Backwoods Home Maintenance.
Looking all pretty.
Library.
Tell him more work than you.
I know, I said, you get to do a nice job here, I said, the library's looking for somebody, EMS is looking for some, everybody in the building is looking for somebody. So I think he was very excited about getting this and stuff, so.
Well, I got a job from right across the street.
All right, do I give both of these things to Stephanie, is that what you said? Like 2 copies of the bid? Okay, Backwoods is a new contractor, so we also included on here, his copies of liability insurance and all that stuff is in there. Already got copies of that for you.
and Steph, can I
Here's
have a
liability.
copy of the insurance for my file? Huh? Can I have a copy of the insurance for Harbortown file?
Yeah, so that's all your stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
and then you're gonna prepare an actual contract
Yes,
for signing.
yeah, I'll get something for him to sign. This is just the bid sheets and stuff.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Finance report, let's see, what did we figure out?
Budgets are due the 28th.
Oh, yes, that's right. We had a meeting Monday with all the department heads and we requested that the budgets, gave them all the information, requested they have their budgets in to us by the 28th. To which we will, then process for a couple of weeks and bring a final to the board. Unless there's any, appetite for the board, i.e. the budget, committee to, have any additional meetings to review the information, it's up to you guys. You can request that anytime between now and.
Well, finance going to provide for us a balanced budget without any of the cuts. I don't see a need for another meeting.
Well, we'll provide, what we come up with, you can review and then you can decide if you want to meeting. How's that sound?
I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, this, obviously, we're gonna have more conversations between now and the end of the year, but this is to make sure we get our information up on the dashboard. Which used to have a due date, but now it doesn't, but we still wanna hurry up to get it done. So, maybe I should have said that first part because now makes it a little less more urgent, but we're still gonna treat it with the same amount of urgency as we always have. This place is back for 2 weeks tonight. Regardless, anything else for finance? Okay. We didn't have to prove anything for moving money around or anything. I signed a couple things in the week. There's nothing really to go down for that. I don't believe there is. We're just, I don't. think
There was some changes, but they hadn't been approved by, or they hadn't been reviewed or responded to, so.
Okay.
We'll bring those up at the first meeting of November.
Very good. Will we on personnel?
Well, we had union negotiations this morning, we'll go into that during closed session. Adam was able to sit in. Equalization, Lauren, she was busy this morning with negotiations. I'd asked her to bring a third quarter update on where equalization was, but she wasn't able to get that done for us for the meeting. I asked her to email it to each of you. So you'll see that in your emails, just need to look it over, what people and how much what's been done in there. Other than that, there's nothing else in personnel.
All right. Here's your report, please.
We've been working busy on the budget, getting the budget information together. I don't have a whole lot of updates. Been working with the road commission in regards to their, investments. We have notices going out for the prior year. The lawsuit that's not completed yet, but we're sending out notifications through our title check company. To approximately 422 individuals who had prior interest in the auctions. Just the information for the pending, hopefully, I don't have a date for the settlement, but we're just in hopes that it will come quickly. Don't think it will before the election, but that's where we are. Month-end reports went out. We're working on the third quarter information for everything. Went through the budgets. Did some corrections. We had a little bit more money coming in, and I know at finance we talked about that. Broadband, and that may be something that needs to be addressed. Probably before, as soon as we can, maybe the first month or the first meeting in November in regards to that.
Okay.
And we participated in the budget meeting that we had. Does anyone have any questions or need anything specifically? I can assist with.
No, but I'll make one comment, for the record that, once again, it's proven once again, having, people, with a specific task of, coordinating budgets and putting that information together is phenomenal. Phenomenal, and, it's, my opinion is working out great, so I just, it's, and they're doing a great job, so that's all I got. Clerk's report.
We met with Jennifer Weinstead from Aquasure last week, and she presented the, rates for 2025, which were reviewed at the special meeting this morning. I've been working on an extensive FOIA request, with John. I had to help John, took him about a half a day to compile emails, and I've got about a day in of working with it, and it's not complete yet. It'll probably be a few $100 FOIA for sure. We have a district court jury trial tomorrow. And we also attended the 2025 budget meeting and presented all HR information from the clerk's office. And I also received the ongoing lawsuit with, the statewide one, a pretty hefty, attorney bill that I submitted for payment because you're still well within your legal fees that were budgeted for this year. Early voting starts in 10 days, so been working closely with the local clerks to prepare for that. Getting their schedule ready, their precinct kits, all their programming and softwares. They'll be having their public accuracy tests. Next week on the 23rd, 4th, and 5th, that'll be in this week's paper. And that's what I got.
Okay, Carolyn, you okay? Okay, yeah, real quick, okay. One thing we forgot to inject in this, conversation is we should, circle back to, our meeting this morning and the healthcare information. It sounds like it was better for us to have this conversation today than wait 2 weeks because of timing to get all the information into the system or whatever. So we presented with the insurance information. Are you sure you're okay, Carolyn? Okay. Well, if we need a short recess, we can do that. Yeah, absolutely we can. Okay.
I don't think you could watch it the last end.
I see your head go down one more time, we're taking a recess, so better keep it up.
I'm not trying to be annoying, I'm just trying to be,
They're going to pay me about a couple of weeks.
okay.
Yeah.
So we have basically are faced with, this almost 8% increase if we keep everything exactly the same. It's, we could talk about some different ways to try to cut some funds, some money. According to the information presented this morning, there wasn't any other really plans that, what's this place called, 44 North?
Acrisure. It's been Acrisure for a
Acrisure,
few
sorry, my
years,
bad.
but they just took them more.
Acrisure was asked if, you know, this is kind of our best option, and we're taking it on their word that, you know, this is what, the best out there for us. Stick with what we're doing and have that smaller increase. But we can talk about some, you know, do we want to have a conversation about, HSA contributions? Do we want to talk about, you know, is there anything that any board member wishes to discuss right now? Try to modify this in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I think at this point, we need to have on the table the possible options of modifying and buy out either dollar and nothing, or both, maybe. And I think that needs to be on the table. I'm not saying you need to jump and change it, but I think looking at, I think it comes out, well, Stephanie did the numbers for us. No, I don't have any for me. But, it was, no, the numbers that she gave us were for all funds, not just 101. And I think we need to recognize that, and that's kind of important. Now, if we go to the buyouts, it's a total of $85,000.
41,250 is 101.
Pardon?
41,250 is 101
Right.
exclusively.
That's what I gave somebody this morning. And going to that 41 general fund figure, we, three people that say, well, you're not gonna give me the buyout, I'll just take the insurance. Three people just ate that. Amount that we, in theory, were going to say. So I think we need to tread lightly when we think about doing that. Modifying the HSA payment in a way, that's the same kind of thing. People are gonna think twice about doing it. And it may change how they accept their health, the health care offer. That's whether or not they, go with it or modify their choice. So I'm not advocating a change. I think we need to look at it and say, what would happen if we did? What would we say? Would there really be a savings? I know, I'm aware of one individual who said, you touch my buyout and I'm taking the insurance. And so, and it's not a single, which would be the cheapest one, of course. So I think that needs to, but I think we all recognize that we don't have a money tree and never did have. And so for that reason, we need to kind of look and say, well, is there a way we could save money? Still being as reasonable as possible with the, employees. I just think that it's worth thinking about, and I'd rather have us bring it on the table, think about it, talk about it, and say, no, on second thought, let's pull that option from the table. Let's not go with that path because it's not beneficial for us or whatever. So, and the other thing that I would like to say is I would like to see us, I'm going to say in April or May of next year, to initiate cost study, cost evaluation from multiple carriers. Rather than, I mean, we truly locked into this. Now, is there a better one out there? I don't know, and I'm not saying that there is by any means. But we don't have that option this year, and I'd like to see us have that option next year if we need to. Insurance is never going to go down. I don't think it's ever gone down, has it? No, I think so. So that's all I think.
I misspoke, I apologize, it's 60 out of the 80.
Pardon?
It's 60,000, not 40, it was 60,000 in the
Okay.
general fund
Okay,
for the buyout.
that's what I thought I had, but especially today, I reveal to you on anything.
Well, I mean, I think Bio's definitely very, definitely brought some information down from other counties, and this is from 2022. And, you know, if you look at, us compared to some comparable, other counties that are doing this, that do buyouts, payment in lieu, is what it's called. Stephanie, why don't you drive for a second here?
Okay, basically the counties that are in blue are either just below or just above us. They're the closest. Alpena County and Sheboygan are on here. Those are not really even close. They're like 25,000 plus people. it looked like, from what I could tell, just a basic average of the buyouts that were paid by the other counties. Were roughly $250, I think, which came out to and this is per month, came out to $3,000 total. It doesn't break it down by, single family double or anything. I'm sorry, Lake County, which is about 8,500 people. They broke it down, which that's a month, they're only getting about $1,200 a year. Presqu'île was a large amount, I was surprised at. That was a payout, of $4,800. But I can see at least 4 or 5 counties that are roughly $250. I would have to contact them specifically if that is in fact per month, single, family, double.
I can't imagine that's for pay.
Per month, I'm thinking too, yeah. Mhm. But they are all counties that are offered something for not taking your health insurance.
So for us, for a family, it would be how much a month? Well, divided by 12, so 300. That's 333, just like, oh, that's right there, there it is, right on the number, there's a number right there.
So just for information, I got one of our competitors, schools contract and done. School pays $150 a month. We don't take the insurance. For the support staff, secretaries. Not teachers.
Single, double family.
It doesn't say, it's just all, let's see. Eligible bargaining unit members not electing the above medical benefit plan coverage will receive $150 per month, provided the employee works 8 hours. Now it doesn't matter, family or singles. That's about $1,800 a year.
It's something worth thinking about for sure, and, in the next meetings here, we can still choose a health plan and not, this doesn't affect that, but it would, help us to offset the increase if we could adjust those, we would like consider a 3,500 and, 2,000 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Is it either or? Because we were already kind of the same conversation with it's HSA contributions and buyouts. Do we do one and not the other? Is that what we're thinking or?
Well, I
a little
mean,
bit on each or?
the problem with HSA contributions is tied up in union contracts, and we can only act on non-union employees at this time. Not to say we can't affect that in the future, obviously, we absolutely can. But today, we can't speak to and make that, we can't set that today. We can't go ahead and say, well, only, unless we wanna make it unequal, which in some cases it may already be, but that's beside the point. But this is something definitely we could look at to recoup something. Now, be threatened with the fact that, okay, I'll take the insurance. I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, I was double covered for a month. When I had this insurance plus my wife's, and they got it all, they got the system all figured out. You don't make out any better. Unless maybe you get better insurance on your own, and your family's on your wife's, maybe you could do that, I don't know, but that would only be a single. I mean, threats are threats, but I think people will find out that, it's not that huge of a benefit to be double covered.
Most people are taking the buyout because they have better insurance through their spouse. So.
Well, that's exactly
Threat to want to take it here, but the fact is they haven't been because they've got better insurance somewhere else.
And, to propose to eliminate it altogether right away in 25, that's a bit drastic, probably. I mean, is it reasonable? Yes, I think it's reasonable to do that, but. It's a big punch in the budget too, so. And to piggyback on this conversation, I spoke to clerk's office about, we get a one sum payment, at the end of the year. Oh, what about we just pay like these places are doing, they're doing
Yeah,
it per
school's
pay.
doing it per pay.
And then we don't have to worry about,
Proration.
pro rates and all this other stuff we have to worry about when we're paying out these things. And it's not a separate spreadsheet in somebody's desk drawer, it's right in BSNA, as a line item on your check. All set to go. So there's a couple things, we can address at one go. Doesn't have to be today, obviously, Terry should weigh in, I think. Be important to hear what he has to say on it. But, think about, a reduction for 25. It's brought up now, so you will have plenty of input from all the employees. They'll come to you and tell you all the reasons why not to do it, or if they're okay with it. So the word's out, we're sniffing around this tree, we're gonna see what's, we're gonna be on it or not.
If we take the current plan at a 15%, which we've always done, most people are gonna see about a $20 to $30 per month increase in cost.
Yep.
So it does go hard to. You're gonna pay more and you're gonna lose. Well, all these.
What is it right now?
But on the HSA, it does.
Right there. Yeah.
So do we don't need to.
That was 2024.
Health plan today?
No, I think it should, and this is important to talk about also, but I think. What this does is can lay the tracks for us to say,
I don't
we can
know.
approve the health plan at, with 7%, but here's a way we can. Outside of that vote, recoup those costs, right? And we can at least be equal to what it was last year.
Remind me, Steph, though, does our HSA contribution affect the bottom line price of this plan?
No,
Okay.
No,
totally
no,
separate, doesn't have
It
anything to
is
do with it.
separate, okay. I'd make a motion that we, accept AgriSure or the Blue Care Network, a plan that has been submitted.
Awesome.
Oh, that's like,
No, that's it. But that's, we're not gonna have HSA involved with it. I would, and I guess I'm gonna keep it. I would like to say was everything, the 15%, everything as we did last year and. Except for we'll leave the HSA open for now. So current plan minus HSA that was proposed.
Current plan minus the HSA.
Mine just.
We'll decide on the HSA payments.
If
And
we're
that,
gonna
With
change them.
So you're talking the big sheet, not
Right.
where she
That's
figured out the 10, 11 and 15.
the bigger sheet is we have the same insurance we did last year for the extra 7 or 8% or whatever.
7.63.
The notes on the top say HSA contribution. Employer HSA contribution is on that plan.
But I don't wanna include that. If we are gonna leave that open for now,
It's at the top. In the grayed out.
yeah. Other notes. I'm asking, my motion is for everything but, setting the HSA at this time.
Well, I will still second that.
Okay.
And that should be enough information for, them to proceed with getting our paperwork together for the. Or enrollment information, everything like that.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much. And before enrollment starts, we'll have a decision on the HSA for sure.
Oh, buyout.
Or even both, yeah,
HSA for sure.
HSA for sure, and we can have a decision on that too, for the next meeting, that's fine. That's the motion, any more comments? Okay, we'll do a roll call.
Brumman,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. Okay.
So you're gonna be opting out of PA 152.
That, okay, we need to decide that as well.
Oh, the hard cap.
That's what we just passed, basically, we have to opt out for what we just passed, right?
Mhm.
Right, so then I'll make a motion to opt out of PA 152. Support. Move supported, any more comments? We'll do a roll call again.
Brumman,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brady.
Yes. All right, communications are in your packets, cruise at your leisure, committee reports. All right,
Sure. Real quick, attend the agency breakfast, first one I've been in a while, and lo and behold, there's no breakfast, it's just the agency part. So I hope they get back to it, right? We met at the new, the Tiger, whatever the place is across the street from the school with the alternative education building, first time I've been in there, so. It was well attended, there was probably 10 of us there, and it was good, nothing, probably earth shattering for everybody, but. Parks and Rec, we did get the ORV grant, to the tune of about $27,000 for next year. So, Alcoa Parks and Rec will be maintaining trails for, side by sides and RVs along with snowmobiles. We did get the snowmobile grant too, so. In addition, we were able to put, we had budgeted money for limestone. I don't know anybody here who's got kids that go to soccer. But we did get limestone down in the parking lot by the soccer field for the mud, and it hasn't rained in like 2 months, so it wasn't an issue, but I think it'll prove to be a good thing when the weather hits. And I don't know if anybody's been here from the fair or not, but I know Kevin gave a pretty good update on the fair and how well that went, motocross, everything at the area site is run pretty smoothly this year. Road commission, they passed a new permit policy, increased some costs on getting permits to work in the right of way, and I did have some input as we get closer, hopefully, to the broadband. There's gonna be a lot of work in the right of ways. They need to be inspected, there's a lot of fly-by-night guys out in big holes, run trenches, and it gets to the point where it's kind of interesting. There was one just happened recently, Frontier, I guess, was one. They were up in South Shore Harbor Lake, somebody came in, didn't get a permit. They contacted Frontier and said, you know, you gotta take care of this. Well, it's not ours. And they said, all right, we'll take the loader up and yank it out. Whoa, wait a minute, well, what we get there? So, yeah, I guess this happens. And I stress to them that we will, when we get the grant and when the Cherryland or Cherry Capital Internet begins and their contractors, we're gonna sit down with them and have a good pre-construction meeting, so we aren't running into that kind of stuff. Goes along with the whole EDC. Doug is currently at, well, you might guess which one by now, the Merit Broadband High Speed Conference over at Crystal Falls. I talked to him on Monday, and lots of good information. He's just gonna be full of it by the time he gets back. So, and, a lot of good opportunities for networking and understanding where we're headed and what we're doing. Other than that, that's it.
Dave.
I had a couple old meetings, township meetings, nothing big going on there, but Alcona Township next Tuesday is holding, their MTA meetings. So they encourage.
Where that is at the Oakland.
Yeah, it's I think 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock on the township hall.
How about you, Carolyn?
Those three Bush and Tudor Township board meetings. Was an ACCO refinement meeting yesterday. 211 executive board meeting also yesterday. Sunday, there is a sneak preview of the Sunrise Center, the new building for ACCOA. And they will be. Excuse me. They do not have running water yet, but we will have coffee and water and maybe some cookies or something. It's from 12 to 5. Everyone's invited. It's just a sneak preview of the general layout of it, not the details of it, but at least it will give the public a chance to see what's there. On Monday at 3 o'clock, the opioid committee is doing the naloxone presentation. Donna Hardy's is doing the presenting. And it will be in the history of naloxone, how to utilize naloxone and what are the ramifications of utilizing it. It will run probably from 3 to 4. Oh, excuse me. And, we're thinking about having like 3 of them, maybe one in the late winter and another one in the early summer, then again in the fall.
Okay. Last public comments? Yes, sir.
Scott Rice, Emergency Manager, the initial work agreement, the annual with EMHSD, just needs your signatures, the chairperson for the county. And then I will get submitted to the district coordinator, and I'll get a copy to the clerk and the
You
treasurer.
need a vote minutes on this?
Chairperson official.
What is it? I'm sorry. I
It's
didn't-
the initial work agreement, it's an annual agreement through emergency management with the state police. They do them yearly.
Try to give a copy to Stephanie. Hey, would you do me a favor, recheck on the camera out there?
Yep.
Please. At this point, we're gonna do a short recess and then come back and close session for, union talk. So, a motion to go into recess, or, was supported, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
Second, hold on, let me read this thing. I forgot to have my free charge. Yeah.
Lights on the owl.
And
We get all the.
There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, coming back out of closed session, there's anything left on the, agenda again, it's gone.
No.
Any closing comments, folks?
No.
Okay. Then we will adjourn the meeting until November 6th. It was just Carolyn Stephanie at the meeting.
The owl, I'm still talking.
Hey, you must not be very observant.